Now we've come to the bidding section. So bidding sounds complicated, but it basically comes down to deciding how much you're willing to pay for each click. Here is where we are. With the account structure, we made sure that we show up for the right products. With the keywords, we filtered the bad ones, so we make sure that we show up for the right and valuable search queries. Now we're going to decide how much we should pay for each click. In Google Shopping and in Google Ads, there are two main options. One is you decide how much you're going to pay for each click. And the second one is you let Google decide. But it's always good to remain skeptical of what they're suggesting or things they propose. Because if you're getting started, you have no clue how much you should pay for each click, and neither does Google. So I always like to keep the control. So you do that with something called manual CPC. And with manual CPC, you're just telling Google how much your maximum is to pay for each click. So you can do this at a product level or a product group level. And it can be a lot of work, because if you have a lot of products, you're gonna have to go through all of your product groups or all your products and make sure that your bidding or the maximum CPC that you set is accurate. And you don't want to set it too low so you don't get impressions, but you also don't want to set it too high so you're wasting money. But if you have the right account structure and the right keyword filtering, as we've seen in the previous lessons, your work here will be a lot easier. So if you do want to involve Google or do want to leverage their systems, what are your options? Well, the first automated bidding strategy, that's what they call it, is to maximize clicks. Second one is enhanced CPC. And the third one is target ROAS. And in this lesson, I'm actually going to talk about the maximize clicks and enhanced CPC. And I'll talk more about the target ROAS in the advanced optimization module. So first, maximize clicks. I really have my reservations with this one, because here's what you're telling Google. Get as many clicks as possible for your specific budget. And you can set a maximum CPC. But you're telling them, get as many clicks as you can. Remember that we're trying to get as many potential buyers to the site as we can. So we don't just want clicks, we want actual buyers. And that might not be the same. Google might have ways to find out which people will click a lot of ads, but aren't necessarily interesting for us as a store. So if you're giving this option to Google, they will get a lot of clicks, but it usually doesn't result in a very good outcome. So I usually stay away from it. But if you must use it or none of the other things you've tried works, I would use it in the beginning to just get a feeling for how much you should set your max CPC to. Then enhanced CPC. This is basically like manual CPC, but it gives Google the freedom to spend up to 2 times your max CPC when it thinks a user might be a potential buyer. So they use all of their intelligence about the people they have in their systems, all the data they have, to actually bid a lot more for a specific click if they think a click might result in a sale. And I use this quite a lot, but my recommendation is to first get 10 or 20 conversions in before you actually switch this on in your campaign. Because then Google also gets a better idea of what a valuable visitor is for you. Lastly, I want to leave you with some CPC guidelines. So bids are really your volume dial in your campaigns. So as I've shown you, if you increase your CPC, you're really gonna get a lot more clicks, and that means a lot more cost. So before you really increase this dial and this volume of traffic, you want to make sure that you're actually showing up for the right products and for the right queries, and then you can really and that it's also profitable, that you do make sales. And if you see that that's working, you can increase your volume or your traffic. But I always start very low, probably like too low sometimes, and then slowly increase. Because you can also do it the other way, like start high and then decrease. But especially at the start, things can go wrong, and you might have you can easily lose a lot of money without really having anything to show for. So all of this bidding, the main bidding settings are in this campaign and in the settings, and here you can see bid settings. You can choose manual CPC. If you want to switch on enhanced CPC, it's just switching on this box. Here you can, if you click it, you can change bid strategy, and here you see those three options: target ROAS, maximize clicks, enhanced CPC. And you can apply this to one or multiple campaigns. But for now, yeah, I just keep manual CPC. I have here my budget, and then I go to the individual product groups and I set a bid there for my different products. So you can see here, I go to the individual product group, and there I set my bid accordingly.